Hey, how is how is your day going thus far? I am so excited to see every single one of y'all. How is it going? I pray that your morning is off to what is a I don't even I can't stop. I'm so forgive me. I can't stop laughing. I was looking at a post from a friend of mine, and it was just the fitting end to to the AI generated post from our president yesterday, and it I am endlessly entertained, and so yeah, so yes, it's wonderful. But how are you today? Because I've got so much backlighting today. I think I'm going to end my video and just go straight screen, which is going to be helpful simply because we have a lot that we've got going on today. So come here, see if some artificial helps us. It does, as always. All right. Okay, let's go. Welcome. I'm glad that you are here for yet another episode of Read with Me. We have moved on to Exodus 4. We are about to see the Lord give to Moses some powerful signs, and we'll see the reason for those signs. And a lot of times, gifts and even talents, many times. I think get out of perspective and we fall in love with people's gifts. We fall in love with what they bring to the table and we lose sight of the purpose of it. And so we're going to take a short pause for that conversation. We are about to move on into this word. Prayer has already occurred this morning, and I apologize for the late start this morning, but we're going to go ahead and get moving for the sake of time. But we're not going to rush because this is the priority for me in the mornings. If the Lord didn't wake me up to do this, then I don't, yeah, but that's a me and him conversation. That's okay. All right. So we are our primary target in our conversations uh, for now, for a little bit, for the foreseeable, it's going to be Moses, or as we have discussed, Moshe. Moses, that name meaning drawn. If you recall the story, he was drawn out of the water by Pharaoh's daughter and saved, despite the hit that was on the lives of all of the male children in Egypt at that time. He goes on to be the prophet and lawgiver, leader of the Exodus journey to the through the wilderness. Um, Raised in Egypt by Pharaoh's daughter, he flees Egypt after killing a man. He dwells amongst the Midianites, marries Zipporah. We're given the name already of his first son, Gershom. We also know there is an Eliezer that's born to him a little later on, um, because their sons are mentioned in this chapter. So we are going to, we'll run into that in a little bit. He has an encounter with Yahweh at the burning bush. And of course, yesterday we had a time, and I had a not being attentive to things yesterday, especially what we know. It's where we get what is translated as I am that I am, that Eye shared Eye. And we're going to look at that again because yesterday I was using, wasn't, I did, there was an error in my transliteration. Because what we have here yesterday, if you recall, I had eheye, I share eheye, and that is not what this is. That's not what this is. There's no doubling on that hey there, so it's just eye, I share eye. That's why it pays to go back and look at your stuff, even afterwards. But we have it corrected for today. Yeah, is derived from the root word that's translated as to be. And so when what we translate as I am, that I am, what the Hebrew text is telling us is that the Lord is saying, when they ask you who sent you, when they ask you who I'm is, let the words that are used there tell us a lot of things. They tell us, I will be who I will be. I am who I am, and I will become what I choose to become because our Father is self sufficient. He's unchanging. He does not become less capable because of the things that he has done. He does not run out of power. He does not run out. And there's no limitation on him. He's not relying on anything that we bring to the table to be Elohim. There's absolutely nothing that we bring to the table. He is all sufficient. And so he lets him know, let me tell you what, sir. When you go, here's what you tell them, because we know from, and I love the way that Paul puts it in the New Covenant when he says, the Israel is going to be looking for a sign. Hebrews, they're looking for a sign, but the Greeks are looking for wisdom, and so they're looking for a sign. He knows his people. He knows you. He knows what you're going to need in order to believe. And so, like I said, we're going to talk about these signs because of the conversation that he has, so that you're not believing it's just my opinion about how we get gifts just jacked up, and why it's very dangerous, but I think a really key conversation for this time that we're in, because we fall in love with personalities. I'm getting ahead of myself. Stop. Exodus 4:1. Let's go. We're late. Moshe answered again, and if they do not believe me or pay attention to me, but say, because the Lord has just told him, I'm sending you to I'm sending you to these people, and you're gonna go and you're gonna tell them that they need to go worship. So anyhow, Moses answered again and said, and if they do not believe me or pay attention to me, but say the Lord has not appeared to you, the Lord said to him, what is that in your hand? And he said, a staff. That's a matah, which is a branch that's used as a staff. And the Lord said, throw it on the ground. So he threw it to the ground, and it became a snake, a nachash. And Moshe ran from it, a serpent, the same as the one we saw back in Genesis. It says, for the serpent. It says, but the Lord said to Moshe, put out your hand and grab it by the tail. So he put out his hand and caught it, and it became a staff in his hand. Do you know, many times when you're called into service and the Lord gives you an assignment and it seems bigger than you, it seems more powerful than you, and the things that you fear may be problematic along the way, that he will provide you with the solution around it, over it, and through it. Just saying real quick. Verse 5 says, that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, I'm reading this all in English because I don't want any confusion here. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has appeared to you. What that's that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has appeared to you. Not that they believe that you're the best snake thrower in town, that you're the best, staff picker in town, that you've got the greatest personality, that you're the most eloquent speaker. That's not the reason for the sign. The reason for the gift, the reason that you have the ability to attract people, the reason that you have that voice that the Lord gave you, the reason that you're eloquent in speech, the reason for all of those things. A lot of times people get real lost following, signs and wonders. Those are not for the glory of the person. Those are for the glory of the Lord, that they may believe that the Lord called them, that they may believe that you've been with the Lord. And so be careful of taking glory. Be careful of pointing people to you. You should always be pointing them to the Lord. It does not matter what that gifting is. If that gift is being used for him, then that the glory for it belongs to him. The honor for it belongs to him. It all belongs to him, because it's so that the people will know that you've been with the Lord, not that you've just been so wonderful and you're so, she's such a great singer. You better give that glory to the Lord. I just love to hear you speak. You better give that glory to the Lord. Don't take it for yourself because it's not for you. It may benefit you and it may make room for you and open doors for you, but it is ultimately so that they will believe the Lord, not you. All right. The Lord also said to him, put your hand into your robe. So he put his hand into his robe, and when he brought it out, there was his hand, leprous like snow. We're not going to talk about our folks who say he put his hand in there and the magic trick was he came out white. Leprous. Leprous like snow. He said, put your hand back into your robe. So he put his hand back into his robe, and when he brought it out from his robe, there it was, restored like the rest of his skin. And we have already talked about how interesting it was that the Hebrews and the Egyptians could tell one another apart. But when it's mentioned that other people would encounter them, like remember when the Ishmaelites encountered them, they saw those Hebrews and said, those, look at those Egyptians. Okay, so we may have this conversation again at a later point, but for now we're going to just settle there. Okay, so if they do not believe you or pay attention to the former sign, then they may believe the latter sign. If they don't believe from the things that they see created, perhaps they'll believe the change, come on, that they see in you. Man, ooh, I would love to linger there because that's a thing right there. If it's not a gifting that he allows you to make something or do something, create something or change something, one of the most powerful witnesses that you've been with the Lord and that the Lord is with you, that leper's hand going in there changing. Now, ooh, when you change, come on, I know we love changing to other people, but when there's a change in you that the people can see, if they don't believe that first sign, oh, they'll believe that latter sign because they see it working for you. Why trust Jesus if it hasn't changed your life? Why follow the Savior if he hasn't had any impact on you? But if he's changed your life, come on. I know we're just talking about a hand that was changed from Moshe, but let's take it just a step further. Remember, my job is to provoke you, to think, to meditate, to have some things to dwell on, to have some stuff to consider as you're going through the day, because we're only reading a chapter, and the Lord's giving you 24 hours. So give him some time as we're reading through these things. Be thinking about some things. Be meditating on some things. What is it that he's done for you? What is it that he's changed in your life that can be used to show people there is what they talked about in the New Covenant, a more excellent way, that there is hope. If you will give your life to the Lord, what he's able to do with it, that when you let things go for him, there's like he gives you so much more. Not a bed of roses, because this life can be difficult. This life is going to be difficult. And that's not my mind. That's life. Life is going to be tough. I remember one of my pastor, my apostle, when I first came to the ministry, one of the first messages that I recall him talking about was how when you come to the Lord, all hell breaks loose. When you give your life over to the Lord and you're repenting of sin and you're getting deliverance, like the hell that was in you begins to come out of you, and so all hell begins to break loose. It does. But the good thing is you're not walking through that by yourself. You're not going through that without the help of the Lord. And that's why you need him, because that stuff that's on the inside of you that needs to come out, those strongholds, those that bad stinking thinking, all of those things need to come out. Now, we're not having to be here and laying hands on the lamb right now. That's not what we're doing. We're talking about getting your heart cleaned up, getting your mind cleaned up. And just like Moshe, he puts that hand in that robe and it comes out another way. The Lord makes a change in you. That's the most compelling sign to people that you've been with the Lord. All right. Exodus 4:9. If they do not believe even these two signs or listen to you, then take some water from the Nile and pour it out on the dry ground. The water you take out of the Nile will become blood on the dry ground. Then Moshe said to the Lord, oh, my Lord, I am not an eloquent man, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant, for I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. We're reading from the Net Bible today, so some of these translations may be a little different than what you're accustomed to. If you're a KJV only person, I'm sorry. Yeah, some days I read KJV, but not today. No reason for the choice today. Just I've started there and I'm going to stay there. Actually, no, I'm sorry. the reason for the change was a few days ago when we dealt with that Moshe being a healthy baby versus being a beautiful baby, being a beautiful baby in the NASB, I think it was, being a goodly baby in the King James Version, and being a healthy and handsome baby in the Message Bible. Yeah, that was an interesting thing, but that was a few days ago. So that's where we are. If you're not hearing in KJV like you normally do. The Lord said to him, "Who gave a mouth to man, or who makes a person mute or deaf or seeing or blind? Is it not I, the Lord?" Moses is going through what a lot of people go through when it comes down to ministry. Me, you trying to use me? And a lot of times it's because we want to fit into the mold of what we've seen. Well, I don't teach like this person. I don't speak like that person. I don't sing like that person. And we won't have confidence in what the Lord has put in us because of what we've seen from other people. And here's the thing is if he didn't need your unique ability, what you bring to the table, he wouldn't have needed you. But if you were needed, then who you are is needed. Yeah, some perfection. Yes, some sanctification. Yes, some holiness. Yes, some cleaning up some things. But there's a reason that you, person, were called. And you don't have to lay down. For me, it's my, being goofy, my sense of humor. Got to be stoic, and you've got to be. No, the Lord knows who He called Moses. You talked like that when I called you, and I still called you. You look like that and I called you. And I still called you. I still chose you. It's not you, dum dum. He says, I'm the one who gave you the mouth. I know where you stumble. I know what's difficult for you. I know what's hard for you. Yeshua was the only perfect thing I got out here in this world. That was Jesus. I know your imperfections. I know your proclivities. I know the areas where you tend to be weak. I know the things that you fear. I know the stuff that causes you to check swing. I know those things, says the Lord. I know that. I just want you to be willing to do what it is that, because again, it's me. It's not you. You're the vessel. I just want you to be willing to go. I just want you to be willing to do. I just want you to be willing to say, I'll deal with all the other stuff. So who gave a mouth to man, or who makes a person mute or deaf or seeing or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? So now go, and I will be with your mouth, and I will teach. Yara, the root word, the Hebrew root word there is flow like a river. Like if you will just open your mouth, if you will just be available to me, I'll be the flow. You just be available. You just be submitted. You just be willing. That's what he's looking for. So let go of that fear of being used. Let go of that fear of being different. That's probably why you're called, because difference is needed. Now, I know there's some that are outlandish, and I can't judge it. I don't know how the Lord calls you, and I called you, and I don't know what his purpose was when he called you. But what I can tell you is that when he called Moses, he tells Moses, look, sir, just go and I will be your mouth and will teach. I'll be the flow if you just make yourself available. You be the rapper, I'll be the DJ. Come on now. This is now go and I will be with your mouth and will teach you what you must say. I'm going to learn you, boy. But Moses said, oh, my Lord, please send anyone else whom you wish to send. And that's where this gets wild right here. Because it says, then the Lord became angry with Moshe, because I've already made it clear that it's not you, it's me. So at this point, and the word that's used there for anger is off. I believe it's off or off. I think it's off. And what it's talking about is, you know how when you get angry and your nostrils flare? And you can literally see you can tell that because the heavy breathing, the side, when you're frustrating the Lord, you're doing a whole lot there, Moses. Okay. So it says, then the Lord became angry with Moshe, and he said, what about your brother Aaron, the Levite? And that Levite there is interesting because he lets us know the Lord doesn't go look for someone from a different tribe. There's a particular work that he's doing in this particular bloodline and through this particular family. And so he says, what about your brother, Aaron, the Levite? I know that he can speak very well. Moreover, he has come to meet you, and when he sees you, he will be glad in his heart. So you are to speak to him and put the words in his mouth. And as for me, I will be with your mouth and with his mouth, and I will teach you both what you must do. So since you need a hype man, I'm going to give you a hype man. It says he will speak for you to the people, and it will be as if he were your mouth and as if you were his God. Not in that he's to worship you, but the same way that you hear from me is the same way that he will hear from you. So what it is that you say, that's why you're out here trying to minister for the Lord and speak to the people for the Lord and do the Lord's work. It's going to be so important that your ear be well trained and that you learn how to be an echo. You learn how to not change it up. You may add your style, your way. Remember, I told you the Lord called you because he called you. There's an audience that you'll reach that others can't. There's a people that you can minister to because of your experience, because of your background, because of relationship, all of those different things. There's a people that you are able to reach that someone else may not be able to reach. That's why what's peculiar about you is many times what it is that the Lord can use. He will speak for you to the people, and it will be as if he were your mouth and as if you were his God. And so, not for you to worship, not for him to worship you, but for him to hear from you, just like you're hearing from me, and for him to say exactly what he heard you say, because you're going to tell him exactly what I told you to say. You will also take in your hand this staff with which you will do the signs. And I laugh when I think about this scripture. I think about the singer Travis Green. And I don't know if you all recall when he first came out, that man had the heaviest lisp in the world. And you can hear that there, I don't know if he's doing speech therapy or if there's some type of procedure he's had, whatever it is. But a lisp may never stop Travis Green from singing. So come on, Moses, get on the stick. Exodus 4:18. So Moshe went back to his father-in-law Yethro and said to him, let me go, so that I may return to my relatives in Egypt and see if they are still alive. Yethro said to Moshe, go in peace. You served him well. He picked up a daughter and two sons while he's been there. And so the Lord said to Moshe and Midian, go back to Mitzrayim, because all the men who were seeking your life, are dead. Then Moshe took his wife, because remember, he left on the run, and Pharaoh was looking to kill him. So clearly, we've even moved on to yet another. It says, then Moshe took his wife and sons and put them on a donkey and headed back to the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe took the staff of Elohim in his hand. The Lord said to Moshe, when you go back to Egypt, see that you do before Pharaoh all the wonders I have put under your control. No, but I will harden his heart and he will not let the people go. So I'm already letting you know. And I'm going to harden his heart. And we are going to take another little rabbit trail here for a moment, just to talk about some things. A quick thing, not some things, but a quick thing. And one of the things that we're going to talk about is this hardening of his heart, what's being talked about here with this hardening of the heart. All right. All right. Hardening his heart. That achazeh et lebo. Libo. Yes. I will hold his heart is the phrase that is used here. And so what the Lord is saying is he's not saying that he's putting some enmity in the heart of between, remember that, because we just read the one who wanted him dead, he's dead now. But there's clearly some enmity between Pharaoh and the Hebrew people. Remember, we started to see that when the people began to prosper. We saw that when the hit was put out on the male children, kill them. So there's already a hatred and a hardness of heart towards these people. What this statement here is saying is, I'm going to hold, like, what's in his heart is, he's not putting the hardness in his heart. He's holding in place or making his heart rigid with what is already there. Okay. So he's not saying, I'm going to upset Pharaoh and make him hate you. Mm-mm. I'm going to allow what's already there. It's sort of like, when we read, I liken it to, but I won't say it's absolutely parallel. I like it because I haven't studied it out. I have not studied out reprobate mind. So I can't say that they're the two are the same, but I liken them because it's not that it's put in you to do it. It's, you're already there. I'm just going to give you over to that thing so that you're acting out what's already in you. Okay. So that was the little torn, nothing long. 4:22 says, you must say to Pharaoh, this is what the Lord has said. Yisrael is my son, my firstborn, Bechori. Remember, we talked about Bechor a while back, that firstborn son, first fruits, firstborn, firstborn. Okay, we got it. And it's Bechori, my firstborn. Remember, we talked about that Hirikiot there at the end, that E being on my, so Bakor being firstborn, so Bekori, my firstborn. And I said to you, let my son go that he may serve me. But since you have refused to let him go, I will surely kill your son, your firstborn. So Moshe leaves Midian with a good bit of information about what he's going to encounter. He already knows that, he's going to go and make this request. He knows that Pharaoh is going to turn him down. All of those different things are going to occur. So he's got a good bit of information going forward. And we're going to give Moses some grace, because imagine that you're sent back to a nation to tell the leadership, let my people out of here. Okay. Yeah. So let's give him some grace, because many times all we're sent to do is to preach in front of people that are already saved, many times. And fear jumps in our hearts, just, going to speak to people that we go to church with all the time. So yeah, so let's not clown Moshe. It says, now on the way, at a place where they stopped for the night, the Lord met Moshe and sought to kill him. My goodness. But Zipporah took a flint knife, cut off the foreskin of her son, and touched it to Moshe's feet and said, surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me. And so circumcision would have been something that they were familiar with. If you will recall, the Midianites were descendants of the children of Abraham and Zethorah. So this is known. This is a known practice at this point. And so, and what's interesting to me is that we did not see this happening. We didn't hear of this happening in the story of Joseph, where there was a lack of circumcision of these children. But for Moshe, the assignment that he is given, it is clearly extremely important for Eliezer and Gershom to have been circumcised as they go forward to do the work. And I just want to take a pause for the cause right here and say, if you're going into ministry, please make sure that you are aware of the impact on your family, that you're aware of the impact on your sons and your daughters. I think that's really key. I think a lot of times when we do get that charge to go and do, and we start running towards it, and we don't consider the impact on those who are with us. And I see so many times, people talk about preachers' kids and how, the preachers' kids are the worst kids. Well, those are the kids who are going without their dad because their dad is ministering to you in the evening. Their dad is at the hospital with you. Their dad is at the church counseling you. Do we ever take into consideration that there may be a reason that those preachers' kids are behaving in the way that they are? But saying all of that to say, when you're being enlisted in service for the Lord, that is not an excuse to neglect the things that need to be done for your own children. So the Lord let him alone after this circumcision has taken place. At that time, she said, a bridegroom of blood, referring to the circumcision. The Lord says to Aaron, now, because they've made it back, go to the wilderness to meet Moshe. Remember, he had already told Moses that Aaron was coming. So we're getting confirmation here that the Lord is telling to Aaron, now you go to the wilderness to meet Moshe. So he went and met him at the mountain of Elohim, Har Elohim. Remember, we read that the other day, and greeted him with a kiss. Moshe told Aaron all the words of the Lord who had sent him and all the signs that he had commanded him. Then Moshe and Aaron went and brought together all the Israelite elders. Aaron spoke all the words that the Lord had spoken to Moshe and did the signs in the sight of the people, and the people believed. When they heard that the Lord had attended to the Israelites, meaning he had heard those afflictions. Remember, we looked at that the other day, that he heard their cries. Wasn't that he didn't know what was happening to them, but he heard their hearts concerning what it was that they were experiencing, and their cries. It said their cries had reached him. So it says, when they heard that the Lord had attended to the Israelites and that he had seen their affliction, they bowed down close to the ground. They're so grateful that rescue is coming. The Lord is something to believe that you're going through. And man, maybe the Lord doesn't see, or maybe, there's no deliverance for me because I'm continuing. I'm still going through this thing. I prayed and I cried, and Donnie prayed and cried, prayed and cried, prayed and cried. Yeah, and then you're at that point where you're standing. You're just standing in faith, believing that the Lord is going to work something out for you. I stand in agreement with you that He will. I stand in agreement for your patience, for your faith, that it fails not. That Satan Hasatan does not steal the word of the Lord out of your heart. That experience doesn't convince you that the Lord doesn't have deliverance and breakthrough for you. That whatever the timetable is for your turnaround in your situation, I believe that the Spirit of the Lord will give you what you need to make it through. Okay. All right. So we will be here tomorrow if the Lord wills and the creek don't rise. We'll be here tomorrow on time, 7:30, for Exodus 5, making bricks without straw. It's about to get interestinger and interestinger. Pharaoh was about to get gangstier. Moshe is about to get more confrontational. He and Aaron are about to have some adventures. But first, we've got to make it through. The Lord heard their cry. Remember? For 2 chapters now, we've been here. The Lord heard their cry. And things don't immediately start to get better. That's why I keep telling you, we as believers have to really be sure to understand how to speak to people who are experiencing devastations and loss in difficult times, but who've been told that it's kind of like a magic trick. You say the right words and voila, it's all gone. No, there's some things that you patiently endure, and then you get to the point where time changes. And many times you're learning about yourself as you're standing in patience. That you've got to let patience, as the scriptures say, that patience have her perfect work. You got to know that the trying of your faith, that it worketh patience. And then we just got to let patience have her perfect work, waiting on the timing of the Lord for change. That timing when change will come. I've been praying for my mother, and the situation is not changing. I've been praying for my son. The situation is not changing. That doesn't mean stop praying. That doesn't mean stop calling. That just simply means continue trusting. And when that time comes, however the Lord decides to move, in my mother's situation, her healing had to come. It's got to come in eternity. But she's no longer hurting. She's no longer sick. She's no longer not herself. She's gone on to her eternal reward. And so she's no longer in that pain. And what I, as a believer, accept is that is her healing, that her healing came. Maybe not in the way that I would have wanted. Maybe not in the way that I would have, but I don't know all things. I don't know the days of her life that were appointed. I don't know the journey that her life would have been had she recovered and continued to linger year in, year out, year in, year out, not herself, mind deteriorating, body slowly deteriorating. I don't know, but I trust that my father is not cruel and that he didn't steal my loved one, but that for his glory and for her good, that her healing is taking place on the other side. But that's just my conviction. I can't tell you, I can't get you there. I can just tell you that I trust the Lord and I believe that that healing is coming. So there are going to be some things that you have to endure. There's some things you're going to go through. But just know that the Lord is with you and he will, if you wait on him, that's what the scriptures say, glory, he will strengthen your heart. Okay. I'm in it with you. Trust me, I've been there. When I tell you 21, 22, and 23 were devastating for me where loss is concerned. Because in my family, people lived forever. You know, my grandmother was 102 when she passed. My aunt was 97. My mom was approaching 80, but she didn't make it to 80 on this side. Her memory's gonna linger forever. But you know, people in my family lived a very, very long time, so we had not experienced loss, and then we just got hit, plow, 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 back to back. And these were not side characters in my story, okay? These were not side stories in my these were not side characters in my story. These were main players. These were MVPs. My point guard, my center. Yeah, but the Lord had to show me one that what I learned, because I don't want to make it sound like he took my people to teach me a lesson. Because of the passing of my people, I went through a journey where I learned him to be able to be all of the things that I need. Not that I didn't need them, but just simply, what's that, Isaiah 6, where the prophet says, you know, in the year that King Uzziah died, then I saw the Lord. As a result of those losses, it took my walk with the Lord into a deeper direction, because now I've got to rely on him to be the things that I don't have those people here to be. It wasn't easy. It's not easy still to this day. It's not easy, but it's worth the walk. It's worth the walk to trust him and to learn to trust him all the more, especially in those hard times. So I'm gonna get out of here because I can talk about this all day long, and you don't have all day, and I don't have all day. So thank you all for your time and attention today. Like, share, follow. We'll be here again tomorrow, Exodus 5, seeing how these folks go about making these bricks without straw. Apparently, it's possible. And we'll see you all tomorrow. So have a good day. Be productive. What do we say? High points, no phone calls. Knock it out of the park. Whatever it is you have to accomplish today, do it and do it well. If there be any bad news, know the Lord is with you in it, through it, in all of those things. And we, your brothers and sisters, are standing together with you. So if you need us, inbox us, holla. You got my number, call me. Got that email, harvest1971@gmail.com. Reach out. We'll pray with you and for you. So talk to you later. Gotta go. Bye. No, I don't want an outro video. I want to leave.